Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a project in Visual Studio, and you're required to make a project that you'll put your source code in so your source code can run. So if you have the start page, you can create a new project, and then what you want to look for is this Windows desktop, no, actually down here, empty project, start from scratch with C++. Or you could pick empty project over here. You might not have this until the first time you pick an empty project, and because these are recent, so I've already done this, so you probably likely have to do this, and next. So I'm going to give my project a name. Project 1 is the default name, so I'll just call this first VS project. And then you'll see a default location where it's going to go by default based on when you did your installation. I'm going to change mine because I just want to, I'm going to go on my desktop and choose, I have a folder here, Visual Studio Files, and I'm going to select that folder. We're going to place the solution and the project in the same directory. Everything's going to have the same name, and just choose Create. Now, if you don't have the start menu, I'll show you how to do the, that start page that pops up. That's fine, but I'll show you how you can do it without that. Because a lot of times you guys might just click it initially so it's turned off the next time you use it. Okay, so now we're in the environment, and you'll notice over here, this is your Solution Explorer, and we don't have any source files in here yet. And you do need to put your source file in there. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose Add New Item. And see, I'm going to choose a CPP file. It gives it the name source.cpp, which I'm not a big fan of. This project is called First VS Project, so I'll just call this. You can call it the same name as the project. You don't have to. So I'll just call this VS Project 1, because you could reuse this project again if you want to. Or actually, let me call it this VS Visual Studio Write Source 1. And it will add the CPP extension, and you want to choose Add. And then over here, you'll see, you click on this and you'll see this tab, and this is where you put your program in. So I'll pause this for a second while I type this program. Actually, I'm not going to pause it, because then maybe you can see some things that get created for you automatically. And I'm just going to come down here and make this a little bit bigger so you can see better. Okay. All right, so let's make a simple program here. There's a classic program for you. And I'm going to come up here in this local Windows debugger. This is just a simple way to run your program. You will notice that it takes a little bit longer than Dev C++, but it'll be worth it. this is taking, there we go, hello world. Okay. That's it. Let me see. To automatically close the console, I don't think you want to automatically close the console because then you're not going to be able to see your output. So that's it. The benefit is things like this. If you forget a semicolon, for instance, you'll get a red underline here, expected a semicolon. So it's going to be helping you fix your errors as you go along instead of having to compile it all the time and then see what the problems are. It uses IntelliSense to help you fill things in, and it's really very nice. So the drawback is it's a big download. It takes a lot of space, takes a while longer to process, and you have to remember that it's always going to have to be in a project. You can't just run a CPP file like you can in Dev++. Now I'm going to show you right now the folder that I created. And you'll notice that it created a folder called First VS Project. So this is where the project goes. And if I open this up, you'll see all these files that are associated with the project, including my source file, which is right here. So if you needed to submit this to me, you could send this to me. This is the project that got created. See the name of it, First VS Project. It has an extension of VCX Proj, so that's your project. And this is your source file, which you see that I called vssource1.cpp. All right, so that's a simple example of using Visual Studio.